Yeah, it started with having a lot of female role models that really spoke into. You can still hear me, Ben?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Um, Female role models that were strong and traditionally in different societies were the real healers, and we're seeing that more in chiropractic. More females are entering chiropractic, which is so exciting. So that stirred my heart and softened my heart. The people that I met and the experience that I had, a near life experience, if you will, right? Choosing life instead of teetering on death, really like was that wake up call of kind of at the wheel and hitting. Now we're reconnecting, which is really about chiropractic too, right? It's Bluetooth moment, searching, 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 connected. So we're back. Um, the female role models, my experience in the hospital, really blowing open my heart. So many people can go through life almost kind of numb. In school, I mentioned with the health food store, the people that I meet there, all of a sudden you start to become on conversations that you never would have thought before. Chiropractic was the same way. Once I was on this trajectory of, the body's healing itself. What can I do to feed that flame? I meet Arnaud Bernier. I meet other precious people that step into my life and start working that heart muscle, almost like, working out. So how do we do that? It means we have to watch what we're watching with movies, the people that were around. When I came down here, I mentioned I was in a really toxic relationship. So I craved healthy relationships, fun relationships, laughter. I met some really amazing people. And I met people that were living it. And so I started living it. So it became very easy for me to connect with those people. Now, in the chiropractic curriculum, you'll find that it does not support life. It's almost studying a lot with what's wrong with the body. And so I was really craving a conversation that was more on what's right with the human body, what's right with me. Because in life, it feels good when people tell you what you're doing right. I love it. So I met these wonderful people, and Arnaud Bernier had a real heart to create MLS, or at the time it was called Making Love to the Spine, just a way of, from his background and upbringing that had a lot of pain and suffering, he transformed that into life and living and a heart for people. And I connected immediately with that. And so many others in chiropractic that have a desire for people, I started connecting with and started what we call a parallel curriculum, which means if you're jogging, isn't it fun to jog with someone right next to you? And if we'll come alongside someone, and if we'll come alongside a curriculum that is going one way, and we think of it as a path that if that conversation is only about death or darkness and something that's wrong with the body versus a path that's more light and life and vibrant, we've got to create that that parallel run. Otherwise, we become drained, and school can feel very draining. So this parallel curriculum of studying life, health, healing, and we say wellness, but it's more correct to say well-being because it's more about your whole being. That health is one aspect of that being. So a parallel curriculum is to just keep taking in things that are building the body, life and health and studying natural laws. And so the people that I met really shaped that conversation. And in school, it's very important in chiropractic school to study that, because that is the heart and soul of what we do, is we're shifting the conversation in the public to what is right within you. And we're gonna, and you know what's so cool? It's tapping an unseen potential that they don't even know they had, you didn't know they had, and we're just releasing it. And guess what? We're doing it together, and it's such an adventure to unpack that. So in school, it's very important, because in life, if someone talks down to you, if someone is belittling you and constantly pushing you down, you know how that feels. the curriculum can feel the same way. There's a movie, Too Fast, Too Furious, and the speeding cars and the racing cars creates a smoke screen, and school can feel like a smoke screen of confusion. A parallel curriculum is to clear that, to come alongside of you, doctors like myself and Ben, Dr. Wade and Arnaud and other precious people, to say, okay, it's a lot happening, but here's what's happening, and here's life happening. And so today we see, and thank you, Ben, for podcasts, because back in our day of just the lineage, I was learning from from Arnaud Bernier. We don't say doctor, we say Arnaud because he's a human. And so we connect. And so learning at his feet, instead of us being able to fly all over the world, right now you and I can use technology to connect whoever's listening to this to just come in on this conversation. And so technology is a beautiful thing. And so thank you for bringing that technology so that people can sit in the comfort of their home and just lean in and say, is there something more here in chiropractic for me? And so I was hearing it directly in the clubs, and there were some amazing clubs with MLS and BGI and all these different people that are studying life and living from a place of vitalism that we call, and there's so much more. But today podcasts and today listening to these things will start to fill you up or fill your cup so you don't feel drained. And that is very, very important in life and in chiropractic, in anything. And so being directly with those around me, living it out, having experience, and then sharing these conversations so that we can share with the public, because it really is just an invitation for more. And it's not like you can take it or leave it, but at some point, BJ Palmer said the skull is only a 1/4 inch of skull, but sometimes it may take like a decade or more to go through just a 1/4 inch of skull. And we're all like that. We're all like that. It might take a little bit of time to come in, but at least a seed or at least a little drilling may start to get in. So surround yourself with people that are going to infuse that philosophy. Otherwise, you can get that philosophy anywhere in life about what's wrong with the body, how life is just on drugs, or just, what's the body betrayed me again is sometimes a conversation. Man, but we're infusing the possibilities. So the podcast is a great way, and I've gone through and seen some of the precious people that you have interviewed. What a great way to just connect with their hearts and see their passion. And so even with the people, then BJ Palmer and Dee wrote stuff down. They wrote these green books, was almost like a diary of their thoughts. So that was another way to connect. But I think the real way today is just live and in person and podcasts around the world, and then using technology until we have FaceTime, until we meet face to face. Because one day I'm going to give you a hug in person, Ben. It's great. It's great.